Hello YouTubers, this is Gold Standard 924 coming at you with another video. This is going to be the 7th installment of TV's Forgotten Gems, and the TV show that I'll be discussing for in this video pertains to a fictional boy band by the name of Together. So, around the late 90s going into the new millennium, the boy band craze was really at its stride. You had the Backstreet Boys, your NSYNCs, your 98 Degrees, and all these the music industry at the time, as far as pop music went, pop group was basically the thing. And and you saw like oversaturation of a lot of these male group ensembles going into the new millennium. And basically MTV decided to cash in on that success by creating their own made for TV movie, which was named after the boy band themselves. And several months after the made-for-TV movie came out, MTV decided to greenlit the series into their half-hour TV sitcom, and it only ran for about a couple months from August 2000 to January of 2001. So, together, you have like these five male characters. You have the heartthrob Jerry O'Keefe, you had the tough guy Mickey Park, you had the Linus brothers, which consist of Chad and Doug, and and you also had QT, and basically they all have very distinct personalities. With Chad being the shy one, Doug was the older brother, and QT was obviously named after the cute one. So, they both get founded by a touring manager by the name of Bob Buss, and they sign to like this record label entitled Stuff Records. So eventually, after the TV movie, they ended up moving in one under one roof in the mansion, and they go through a lot of everyday situations, and some of the characters have their share of focus. Um, so together, I have seen the movie, and I do believe you can find it around here. It hasn't aired on television in about 13 years or so. It's currently not out on VHS or DVD. I don't believe it's on MTV's website or any other video streaming web pages, but it's definitely one of the extremely obscure TV shows out there. Um, and the show got canceled in January due to the untimely death of Michael Cuccioli, who portrayed QT. So, he was kind of going through, he was fighting breathing cancer basically, he's having a lot of breathing problems, and, he died due to respiratory failure. So, eventually they did have like a funeral going on, and, most of the money was donated to the Michael Cuccioli Foundation. And, the show was canceled, and, MTV hasn't released it on home video. Um, So it's really vague as far as the TV series goes. It only lasts about like 20 or so episodes, and most of them kind of really, centers around these group of male group ensembles, and just different characters. They have their fair share of focus in one episode or so. I think one of the few memories I had with the show was the pilot episode where Jerry was making out with this one girl, and then Jerry's girlfriend found out that he was hooking up with another girl. So Jerry was doing what he can to win her back, but things kind of backfired, and basically his girlfriend dumped him. So the girlfriend was definitely in the TV movie, and I believe they broke up because of that. Um, and he also had like like another episode where Mickey Park, the stereotypical white rapper that was kind of portrayed. There was an episode where he was kind of going through like this sort of personality change, and he started to show a little bit of an innocent side to him, and he was singing this song called Regular Guy. When he's very calm, he's playing like this acoustic guitar. He's performing with the audience. And then he's whenever he gets angry, he start just using like heavy distorted guitar riffs, like a punk rock song and stuff. So basically, the show was basically kind of like the vehicle to kind of promote their CDs, and a lot of the songs that they had on their second album was kind of used to promote the TV show. Um, and it was really vague, but definitely is one of those obscure shows. And he also has a couple of guest appearances like Mandy Moore, um, and they actually mentioned her in the made for TV movie when QT mentioned about who his crush was. And then you get to the TV series and Mandy Moore actually makes a guest appearance herself. Um, and you also have a couple B-list actors or actresses like Megan Ori um, and basically just a lot of B-list actors, celebrities whatsoever. Um, so like I said, together the series is definitely a show that it's really hard to find full episodes on here since Viacom has constantly been taking down any TV shows that they own. And this show, unlike many of the other successful MTV programs, this show is, like I discussed, was not released domestically, and it hasn't been reran on TV in years. So it's really, really hard to really watch some of these full episodes. You can find maybe a handful of them on here, but I can guarantee you not all of them are on there. And there was actually one episode that in the United States that MTV didn't air, and it was entitled "Fat." And because of the untimely death of Michael Cuccioli, MTV just in the U.S. didn't really air it, while other countries like Canada and England and a lot of other countries worldwide showed it. Um, so basically, by the time you got to like the second half of the short-lived series, Michael Cuccione didn't really show up a whole lot, because of his breathing problems. So they kind of gave him like a little bit of a lighter schedule, and there were like some episodes where he was doing like voiceovers or he had like a little small part. So it's definitely his personal problems that was going on behind the scenes kind of affected the TV show. And so Together was canceled going into 2001, and and by the time and pretty much after the show ended, the boy band craze was just really dying out, and when boy bands like the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC were fading away, basically the whole pop group craze kind of died along with it. Um, so as far as some of the actors go, as far as where are they now, you have Jerry, who was portrayed by Evan Farmer, and he's had a pretty decent career after this. He was on the TLC reality show While You Were Out, and he was kind of like he replaced another host. I think her name was Teresa Strasser or something. But definitely her first name was Teresa, and she was like one of the earlier hosts of While You Were Out, which was kind of like just emphasizing on home building. So it's not it, the show doesn't run anymore, but after that, I believe Evan Farmer is currently the host of CMT's Top 20 Countdown. Um, so yeah, he's actually done some stuff after this, and you also had Mickey Park, who was portrayed by I don't really remember the name of the actor necessarily, but he's actually done a little bit, but not a whole lot. But he actually made a little appearance on Alpha Dog with Justin Timberlake, and both of them were actually in the boy band. So it was a little interesting there. And I believe he had also a little role in the Hard Times of R.J. Berger, and that was like another MTV show that didn't even last that long. So there you have it with that. And then you have Doug, who was portrayed by Kevin Farley, the brother of the late comedian Chris Farley. So he actually worked with some of his brother's co-stars of Saturday Night Live, with David Spade and Adam Sandler, and they both worked together in The Waterboy and Dirty Work. So Kevin Farley, he's still in the acting business, but he does mostly like stand-up comedian and a couple of small independent flicks. Um, so I mean, these basically, a lot of these actors just did something afterwards. Some of them kind of fell into obscurity, or some of them quit in the acting business. I believe the actor that played Chad, he actually had a little small role in a teen drama called Everwood. Um, and basically, he believe he kind of quit. I think his name was like Noah Bastian. Yeah. So, and definitely it was one of the. Yeah, he hasn't really done a whole lot after this. And QT, unfortunately passed away. Rest in peace, Michael Cuccioli. But before Together, he had a little guest spot on Baywatch where he portrayed a cancer patient. So Together, this series, definitely really cashing in on the boy band craze, and it was really successful for that short span of time. And a lot of people remember them for that song "Calculus," which is pretty much their mostly known song, even if they were like a one-hit wonder. So I might do like a movie review somewhere down the line, but this is just me discussing about the short-lived TV series that was around for about 4 or 5 months. So yeah, that's really it for this installment. Thank you all for watching, and till next time, this is the Gold Standard User 924 signing out.